Hey, my name is Andy, and today we're going to go through how to set up a multi-factor authentication method using an authenticator app. So first of all, what is MFA, right? So MFA stands for multi-factor authentication, and basically it's a second step that you need to do to log in addition to typing in your password. So the reason why this is important is because if a hacker gets access to your password, they still would not be able to log in because they don't have that second code. So today we're going to learn how to set up that second code using what's called an authenticator app.
First of all, let's go through what MFA is, right? So MFA, as I said, stands for multi-factor authentication. And with MFA, you're essentially adding an extra step when you log in addition to your password. The reason why this is important is because if a hacker steals your password, they would not be able to log in because they could not complete the second step. This second step with this additional factor is called the second factor. So today we're going to set up a second factor, and it's going to be a separate app on your device called an authentication app. An authentication app is an application that you can install on your phone or tablet, which generates one-time codes that change every 30 to 60 seconds. And these types of applications make your account more secure. We recommend that you do some research to find out what authenticator app is right for you, but some industry-leading authentication apps include Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, and Authy. So once you've chosen and installed your favorite authentication app, you can move on by setting up your authentication app as your multi-factor authentication method on Newton. Also note that if you previously used Authy as your multi-factor authentication method, you'll still have to follow this process to set up a new connection to Authy for the Newton app because your old Authy codes will no longer work. Lastly, it's important to note that you can set up an authenticator app on your computer or on your phone. So we're going to go through that later by scanning the QR code or adding a code manually. So we're going to go through all of that, don't worry. First of all, you log in as usual and you end up on this screen. And you're going to, of course, click on Authy or similar, which is the first option. And it'll set you up, it'll bring you to this screen. Now that you have your authentication app installed on your device, open it on your device. And this might be different slightly depending on which authenticator app you're using. But look for something like a plus sign or where it says add a new code or add an account or scan a QR code. Again, it could vary depending on which app you're using. But once you found that button, click on it and your device will ask you to enable camera permissions. So please click allow. And then go back to your web browser, go back to this page, right, with the QR code. What we're going to do is we're going to take the phone and you've enabled camera permissions, right? So it's going to be able to scan QR codes, and we're going to point the camera of your phone to this QR code. I'm going to do that right now. I click add an account on my device, and then I'm pointing the device at the QR code, and it should just take only a few seconds, and the code should automatically be added to your device. And now you should see a 6-digit code that appears on your device. So you type in the 6-digit code. Be sure to do it quick because, again, it expires. So you see mine expired. But that's no worries. It'll just generate a new code, and then I can type in the new code. So it should be 6 digits, right? And then I hit continue. Now, before I go on, if you're setting up this on the phone itself and you don't have, you're not able to scan the QR code because you're setting it up on the device itself that displays the QR code, what you can do is you can click show secret key. And basically this will generate your secret key, which is a long string of numbers and letters. You don't have to memorize this because there's a button that says copy code. So all you have to do is click this button, and if you're on the device itself, click this button, copy the code, and then go back to your authentication app, and you should go to add a new code section. Instead of scan a QR code, there should be an option that says something like enter a setup key. Click on that option and you should be able to copy and paste the key into a field where it says secret key. And for the sake of organization, you can also give it a name. We recommend you call it something like my Newton account so you know which code this key is for. After that, you click submit, and then that's how you get the code onto your device if you're unable to scan the QR code for whatever reason. But again, this is going to depend on your device. So I've set up this code already, and I've taken too long, so this code changed from what it was previously, but that's okay because I'm going to type in the new code. So again, it's 6 digits, and I'm going to hit continue. And again, keep in mind that your code expires every 30 to 60 seconds, so there is a time limit. If you get an error at this step, it might be because you typed in the code too slowly and it expired. You just have to type in the new code instead. And that's it. You should be all done now. Now, this next step is optional, but what you can do is if you want to log in faster, you can enable biometric login through your device's touch, fingerprint, or facial recognition if your device supports it. So we recommend that you do so as an additional security measure, because by setting this up, you will not need to use your authenticator app every time you log in. Instead, you can use your fingerprint or facial recognition to log in to your Newton account. It's important to note that if you bypass this step, then you'll need to have your device handy, or you'll need to type in the code every time. It just makes it a little easier next time if you're using your Newton account on a device that you always use. So I'm going to hit continue. And basically there's going to be a pop-up window that asks me if I want to register this device. I hit continue, and I'm on a MacBook right now which has a fingerprint scanner. What I'm just going to do is scan my fingerprint right now, and it'll just autofill this information, right? So, you know, it'll recognize Andy's Mac, right? That's a good name. I'm going to hit continue. And basically that's it. Now my device is registered, and now I'm done with the setup. So if you have any questions regarding this process, be sure to reach out to our support team if you encounter any difficulties. And if you've chosen to set up a security key instead, there's a link in the video description, and you can click on that and watch that video on how to set up a security key. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.